How did you get an actual developer role?
The first job that I got is again.
And you did not know the person who referred you to the internship.
Yep.
How likely you would have got that internship? When you do internship, you need a skill. So how much skill did you have before you do internship?
Yep.
And how does that help you to continue your internship? And after the internship, what was your confidence level?
Without any who knows stuff, it's very hard to learn, right? Only through YouTube, you're just like this, right?
This is where you failed.
Yes.
So
yes,
that's
I
again.
failed a lot in that part.
Sorry to hear that. Have you ever felt at some point like, I think this is not for me and then I want to quit?
Actually, I actually didn't feel that way, right? That's when I knew, oh shit.
How does it feel like to get rejection after rejection? Can you share that?
It's very demotivating. It hurts. If I think about it now.
You don't have to fail to learn from your own mistake. You can always learn from somebody else's mistakes as well.
Yeah.
That will save the time. Hey guys, it's Prem Acharya here. Welcome back to another episode of The Diary of a Developer. Today our guest is Roshan, who has been working as a software engineer over 3 years, and we want to hear his story, how he even started his journey in tech career. So let's welcome Roshan here. Roshan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Premji.
Okay, Roshan, so can you introduce yourself in better way?
Sure. So guys, I'm Roshan Gale. I'm from Kathmandu, Nepal. I've been in Sydney for about 8 years now. I came here in 2016 and I did my master's from Victoria University on information technology, and then I started my technological career right after that, but basically just doing some internship at some companies, but I got my full-time job basically from 2021, and yeah, I've been doing the same job since then.
Oh, that's great. So you said, I want to pick up that internship you said. Maybe we can start from there. So I definitely want to go back and then learn about more yourself and your personality types, what made you decide to come into the tech, whether you enjoyed or not. So I want to go all that so that, you know, somebody who is similar to your circumstances, your personality, they can pretty much resonate with you, and then they can take a decision based on some the things you have done it working, something you have done that did not work. So that will help them to build their career faster.
Sure.
So tell me about the internship before we go ahead.
Sure. So basically, I did my intern, I think, at 2 places, kind of. The first intern was with one of the Nepali company, actually. So I got this opportunity through Keshan Mananda, who's kind of like my mentor as well. So
by the way, guys, Keshan Mananda, he is one of my friend. He was one of our first guests of the show. Highly recommend go watch his podcast as well.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so this was the company who was actually building a software for Nepali consultancies, actually. And the company is actually based in Nepal, but we were doing some back-end and front-end, kind of like a POC, like a proof of concept for a software, basically. So he needed some software engineers at the time, and we were just there, and we didn't have any job, so we were just available, and yeah, I took the opportunity, and I think we did around 3 months of internship there, and then after that, I joined this company. It's actually not a company, just a startup. I don't think I even forgot the name, actually. Sorry about that, but yeah, we were doing this internship at a company, kind of recommended from another friend as well. So I guess network is pretty important in this field, right? So yeah, I got the opportunity through one of my friends, and then I think I did my internship for about 3 months again, and this was also during the time I was doing my ACS, what do you call that?
PY?
PY.
Part of the PY.
Part of PY as well. They wanted to send me to a different company, but the company that they sent was some kind of college and they did not even have IT department or anything, right?
Yeah.
And I went there, I did an interview. They basically didn't know anything about IT, right?
Okay.
So they had nothing. They just had a website, a static website. And when I told them like my story and the things that I wanted to do, they had like no clue what I was talking about. So I was like, yeah, this might not be the place for me. So I just told them like, I'm doing this thing at a different company. So if it's okay, I can like maybe this is the experience that I can show for my PY, and they agreed, and yeah, that's what I did as well. Like I took
Okay.
my internship and then gave them as my experience for PY, rather than
Okay.
they finding me some kind of
The non-related thing, yeah.
non-related
So that's a
ITs.
huge thing, you know. We can have this, I think probably we can make a whole episode just on how the PY is working for a
Yeah.
student, how PY is not working.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that, you know.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to the same PY. So how did you sorry, the internship, how did you find that internship opportunity, the first one?
The first one was basically through Geshin Mananda, basically.
Yeah.
We were working for this guy called Amit. I'm not sure if you know him, Amit Ranjitkar. So he's kind of an accountant here. He has his own startups and he's doing his own business as well. But he has another business in Nepal as well, which is
Okay.
basically like this consultancy, but technical consultant as well. Right? So
Nice.
they hire developers, they hire projects from outside, foreign countries as well. They do projects for them, and this was one of the projects. They did not have capacity, I think, at that point in Nepal, so that's why he was looking for some, interns
Okay.
who could help him. So that was the point. He started looking for some people, and that's when we found Geshin actually recommended us. It was actually me, Alice,
Okay, whole team,
Avinash,
that
all
thing,
the
yeah.
team, right? So we
Okay.
had this team. So it was good because all of us was friends and we knew each other, and it was very fun working together as well, right?
That's
Because
great,
everyone
yeah.
knows each other, everyone knows what everyone like is good at. So it was fun, basically.
Okay, so like there is a lot of debate. I think I'm gonna make a specific training video or the information video on this topic. So, should you do work as an intern? Should intern be paid, not paid? There's a lot of history going on.
Yep.
And I see some other like a IT
Yep.
job. They recommend not to do internship, but for developer, this is a whole different story,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
so,
a different story.
before let you start, so I want to say, when you do internship, you need a skill. So how much skill did you have before you doing internship?
Yep.
And how does that help you to continue your internship? And after the internship, what was your confidence level? Can you share that experience?
Sure, of course, of course. So basically, before internship, it was basically YouTube, right? YouTube and learning through documentation, whatever I can, right?
True.
It was very hard, basically, because without a mentor and without any friend circles who know stuff, it's very hard to learn, right? Only through YouTube, you're just like this, right? Yeah. So
and in YouTube, you're rarely gonna find advanced stuff.
yeah, and it's basically like you see stuff, but you don't know which one to learn, right? There's too many things to do, right? Too many things. So it's very hard unless you have someone to guide you, right?
Mentor is very powerful.
Mentoring is very, very, very powerful. So that's why I always say Geshan's name, because he was the one basically who actually pushed me as well through IT. I always wanted to do IT, but through different circumstances, I was like ending up in different points.
True.
But yeah, after like Geshan actually moved here, he had this idea of like Nepali community should be more in technology, and that's when he pushed me as well. And then he was giving me some ideas as well. He was giving me guidelines like what to do, what not to do. So that's what I followed. But then when doing the internship, actually, those things came in very handy, actually, because what I learned in before internship actually did help me as well, because the things that I learned didn't go to waste, actually. Even if you learn anything, right, just learn anything, it will be useful in some way, right? It's not like it's complete use. You learn anything in the internet and it's not useful. It's not that. You can use it, but it might not be related to what you're doing, right? So there might be differences like you learn Python, but you go and work in JavaScript, right? It's not related, but still the logic is the same. The fundamentals is the same,
software engineering
right?
principle.
The software development cycle is the same, right? So
True.
those things is still going to be helpful for you, right? So during the internship, I found that very helpful because like Geshen actually showed me the way and guided me through JavaScript, and the internship that we did was also on the JavaScript and Node development and React, right? So it actually aligned with what I learned, and it was really good like experience for the internship.
Okay.
So after the internship, I got like more confidence actually. Internship was kind of another step up for me because I didn't know what I learned could be used in that way, right? I didn't know how I would use this in actual
Production
product,
level code,
right?
yeah, or
That's-
building the project.
Yeah, exactly. That's the differences. Because when I learn at home, I do it, I follow those things that YouTube says. That's it. I don't know what it does for, right?
Exactly,
I don't know
yeah.
what it does. I don't know what's it's going to be used for. But actually doing it for a product, for a company, makes a big difference.
True. This happens, because I have seen many students, they are very, very good following through the training and tutorials. But as soon as they don't have the training or tutorials, especially YouTube tutorials, and if you ask them to do something close to that, not even like completely different things, and they completely stuck, like they don't know where to even start,
Yeah, yeah.
So, and what happens as a learner is that you're gonna feel that false sense of false sense of achievement, that okay, I'm learning great, I'm learning it. You keep going, your dopamine keep hitting up and up. But when you put into the reality, the reality hits, and then you don't even know where to start. That's a huge problem. That's why when anybody learns from YouTube or any resources, they should take the idea and skill they learn from there and then build something completely different, so that shows them how much they have understood, how much they have understand about that technology, and then how to implement it,
Yes,
Okay,
agree.
so with that internship, from 0 to 10, considering your skill level now as a professional software developer, when you went to the internship, where do you scale yourself as a skill you have before internship, after internship, so that people have that reality check?
So I would definitely put myself around 1 or 2 before internship.
Let's put first where you are at 0 to 10 at this point on your tech stack.
I would say I'm about 8. Right
now,
now, because 3 years experience and I know everything. I know a lot of things, not everything, because you can't learn everything.
True, very
right? There's
true,
always new things coming. So I would rate myself around 7 or 8 at the moment. Before internship, when I was starting, definitely 1 or not even 1.5. Right?
Okay.
Because I came from completely new background, right? I studied business. I didn't know anything about IT, right? So starting from that is starting like from 0, right?
Oh, that's amazing. Like you are completely coming from non-technical background.
Yeah.
A lot of students come say, I do not have technical background. Can I do it? Is the answer.
Yeah. I mean, there's no one stopping you. You can start from anywhere. Doesn't really matter what background you're from. Right? So I've seen people like starting from medical background as well.
True.
Right. So it doesn't matter.
We even have a student from medical and then accounting background.
Yeah.
And now, okay, so you score yourself around 1.1 to 1.5 before internship. That's following through. So after the internship.
After internship, I would probably around 4.
4? That was a huge
because I learned
jump.
a lot. I learned a lot.
You learned
during the
actually
internship.
working in the industry.
Actual work, like, and we had a really good mentors as well. Even the friends like Avinash, he had like a lot of experience back in Nepal. Alice, he had experience. I think I was the only one who didn't have any experience. So I was like the juniors and juniors. Like,
Juniors
so I was very low level at that point. So working with them actually made me realize like how much I was missing, right? How much they knew and how much I didn't knew. Right? Even though I learned a lot from YouTube, there's a difference like actual working environment and not. Right? So there's a big difference. So working with them was very different, and exposure to how they solve the problems, how they actually go into the problem, those things was a different mindset.
Oh, okay.
Right. So those things were like very helpful for me. So that's why I would like increase my points after the internship.
That's true. By the way, guys, we have also done in podcast with Avinash. go find out he's amazing person, very talented, and
Yep.
you're gonna learn quite a lot from him as well.
Yeah.
So, okay, if anybody just coming new here,
Yeah.
So now the reason I'm more digging into the internship is that there is a concept. A lot of people say, "Hey, you don't need to do internship. You can find the work." One thing. Another thing they say, internship is unpaid. That should be paid, or there is like a lot of what you call
Debates,
the confusion or the different messages. Should internship be paid, unpaid? As I said before,
Yep.
I think what I quickly like to summarize here is the importance of interview. Before I summarize it, I want to ask you more thing about the internship so that everybody understand that. So if you did not have that, let's say one score yourself, skill level 1.5,
Yep.
and you did not know the person who refer you to the internship,
Yep.
how likely you would have got that internship?
It's very hard. It's very hard actually, especially in Sydney,
Yeah.
like especially coming abroad.
So
If
that-
it was back in Nepal, would have been a different story. You would
Yeah.
know someone. You would
yeah, again,
again network.
Know someone.
someone, right?
Yeah, that's one thing, and another one is skill, right?
Skill, right?
So,
So-
even you need to get internship, you need the skill.
Skill,
So
yeah.
can you tell me like day-to-day things of the internship so that people know what to expect in the internship? Because what people have concept is that if they go for internship, because it's unpaid, and there will be someone to teach you all the time.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like there will be always someone to teach you,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a company; they have their own work as well, right? They're not gonna be 24 hours on you, like teaching you stuff, right?
Sure.
You're not there to learn only, right? You're there to work as well, right? They expect something from you as well, even if you're an intern. I mean, it depends on company to company, maybe, right? But where I work, actually, I had to give my input, so they were expecting something from me, right? So I was not like the just going there and doing my own research, doing my own thing, right? Because I think there is some kind of maybe misinformation or something like that, right? If you do an intern, they're not gonna teach you stuff. They're not gonna be like they're not gonna give you any importance. You're just gonna be good. You're just gonna be there like doing nothing, right? It might be that, but where I worked, I was fortunate enough to like do actual work, right, and get more experience from there. So it's very different. Like if a company is, if you get an intern maybe in a very big company and they don't care about you, then that's a different story. But if I think interns, you should probably go start with more like a startup, so that
Small to medium company.
small to medium company, because there going to be some kind of expectation from you, like
True.
right, and they're not going to hire you for interns as well, even if you don't have any skills.
True. You
Right?
need a skill.
You need at least need some kind of skills even to get the internship, right?
That's
It's a tech industry. It's not like you go there and learn. It's you need to have some kind of skills before you do an intern as well,
True.
right?
And then in the internship, just to support you there, because I do also interns, help a lot of interns, and I have a company in my connection, all the startups that I have,
Yeah.
they offer internship. And then the way it works is that you need to first come up with the skill you have.
Yes, yeah,
And
definitely.
then basically in the internship, you are not learning the technology by the internship provider. They
Yeah.
are just mentor there to like show you,
Yeah.
okay, this is what you need to do. You're getting opportunity to work in the real life environment.
Exactly.
And then they'll tell you what technology to use and how to use and why to use it.
Yeah.
And it's your job to
To
go
actually-
and learn and find out how to
Yes,
use it.
exactly,
So
yeah.
they're not going to teach you how to literally use the technology.
Yeah.
They'll only tell you how to go find and learn. You have to
Yes,
do the learning.
exactly,
Right?
yeah.
And then I see a lot of like students, especially who just recently graduated, they said they're only looking for internship. And I ask, how much skill you have? They said, no, I'll learn in the internship. Look, guys, anybody who is listening to you, if you have this dilemma of the internship, maybe this will help you understand clearly. Hiring internship is very expensive for the company. How?
Yeah.
If we hire any internship, first thing, somebody has to spend hours getting them on board.
Yes.
So the somebody who is working in the company, they get paid somewhere between 50, 60 to 100, $150 an hour. So if one person has to spend 1 or 2 or 3 hours per week for you to
Learn.
like a mentor,
Yeah.
they are like not only losing that $300-400 per week in terms of the working hour,
Yeah.
they're losing the importance of the work that person could
actually
contribute
do.
back to the
Yeah.
company.
Exactly.
That is very, very costly. That
Yeah.
you should need to understand that part,
Yes,
you know.
definitely, definitely.
And then don't take any internship lightly. First thing I would say, if you can afford to do the internship,
Yeah.
yeah, based on your timing and finance,
Yes.
definitely go find the unpaid internship. If you
Yes.
can get paid, great.
Yeah.
If not, you need to find that,
Yeah.
and then definitely go for it. You know,
Yes. Yeah.
and before that, make sure you learn the skill you need to
Yeah.
be able to implement it,
Exactly.
and then always
Yeah.
be curious how to learn it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And don't think that you are going to work for free. Actually, no. It may be free for you, but
Exactly.
it's a lot of cost for the company.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's not free. Like, you're not just getting unpaid. You're getting experience, right?
Exactly.
You're
That's
learning
gonna pay
things.
you on the
Yeah,
job.
that's gonna be like a good advantage for you in your next job, right? You actually learn something from your intern, right?
True.
So
And probably that's the reason you got next job.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to go back to there. Tell me about your, how did you get an actual developer role, and how the internship helped, did not help, anything you can share.
internship a lot. Like, it helped a lot actually. The first job that I got is again actually through one of my friend, right?
Reference
So
is very powerful. Yeah.
The reference networking is very, very, very powerful.
Yeah.
So you need to, like, go to the community. You need to meet people. You need to know who's in the industry, who's not in the industry. You need to follow them. You need to ask the questions, right questions, right?
True.
And that's how I got my first role as well. But I mean, like, the only thing they can do, yeah, you need to build your network. The only thing they can do is refer you, right? That's the only thing they can do. The other thing you have to do yourself,
Exactly.
right? You have to show your skills. You have to be good at your interviews, right? You have to be able to do all these tasks they give you, right?
Hey guys, quickly popping up. I hope you are enjoying the show. If you are, please don't forget to subscribe and write, comment, and share. Let's continue.
So these are
Challenges
these
you need to
challenges,
solve it.
yeah.
Without
These-
this skill,
Nothing, right? Even if I refer you to my company, but if you don't do well in the first technical interview, done, right? They're not going to hire you just because I referred you, right?
And then other thing is that you cannot really refer everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
That is gonna let you down.
Yeah,
in the interview.
exactly.
So,
So
I see,
I can't refer
yeah.
next one, right?
Yeah.
After that, so
Yeah,
it's
true.
going to be
You
very
need
hard.
to, you know, there's a lot of like people. They say, I know that person work in that company. Maybe I'll ask them to refer me on that opening job.
Yeah.
And then they reach out, and then they say they don't respond back. Of course, because they don't know you how much
Exactly.
you know, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't have that rapport built.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he don't want to put his name on the line for you.
Exactly,
You know.
yeah.
So you need to build. I think this one way to build that is by leveraging the LinkedIn, keep showcasing your work,
Yes,
progress, learning,
yes,
project,
definitely, yeah.
and then have that relation on the LinkedIn. I mean, if
Yes.
you don't have in person,
Yep,
right?
yeah, definitely,
And then that will
definitely.
help you to get that recommendation.
yes,
and then
exactly,
you're happy
yeah.
to do that too, right? If
Yeah,
you know
I'm
someone.
happy. I'm happy to recommend anyone. Like, but I need to know if that person is actually capable of doing what we want, right?
True.
So there's a difference. Like, you can't just hire anybody who's right out of the college, and I don't know what he does. I don't know what he's doing, right?
Yeah, and then his skill level.
And his skill level. So it's very hard to, like, just simply refer. So if the person is, like, working for 2 or 3 years in different company and he just wants to change the job, then yeah, sure, I'm happy.
Yeah,
He
and
can
also
come.
somebody, let's say, who have been working really hard,
Yeah.
building large scale projects,
Exactly, yeah.
learning, or something like a bootcamp student.
Exactly, yeah.
That can be more like trustable. To
Yeah,
you.
exactly. If they are doing their bit, right? If they are doing, like, okay, yeah, they're doing boot camps, they're going to these meetups, if they're meeting people, they're actually showing effort, right? That's a difference. So that's another thing actually I want to point out. Like, if you are a first job, if you are looking for your first job, that's another thing, like showing effort, right? Showing your interest.
True.
How much are you, like, passionate about it, right? That, I think that's another point that landed me my first job, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I think as well, like, because when I had my interview, like, final interview with I had my
So
final
before
interview-
final
sorry,
interview, let's go back to the how you get the first job. You know,
Yeah,
where we
sure.
do that.
Yeah, so first job, basically, my friend recommended me. First interview, done, not bad, good.
Just walk through
just walk-
generally, so how the interview like, so that everybody
yeah.
have that.
Yeah. So first I
idea.
got the call from the HR. Right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
a
a general
phone
question.
screening
Just phone
interview.
screening. Just a general question. What you do, how you are. Those sort of things. So that was like, how you present yourself, right? Basically, what
Your
you are, what
personality.
did you do, those kind of stuff. So, but you should be able to like explain yourself as well, right? In the HR screening as well. I think I've seen people like not even get through the HR screening as well, because
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't
true.
really know how to express themselves, what they did, you know, and they get, I don't know, maybe nervous or something, so they don't express
And
themselves.
there
so,
is a way to communicate. You know, you
exactly.
need to know how to
Exactly.
communicate. We teach students. You know, now especially we have like mentorship program for
Yeah.
our students. They are mentor are only focusing on how to prepare them for
Interviews,
You
right.
know, not
Yeah.
only there's many more things, but
Yeah.
because you can be great on something,
Yeah.
but if you can really express me back,
Yeah.
I don't know you. I'm just
Yeah.
talking over the phone for the first
Yeah,
time. Right?
exactly. You don't know who you are, and then it's hard for them to like evaluate you, right? If you don't
True.
express yourself, you don't express properly, then they don't know really about this guy doesn't
Maybe
really
not. Yeah, not
maybe
fit.
not
Maybe.
really a good fit for us, right? Those sort of things. So first thing, the HR interview, you got to make sure that you are good enough, like speaking and everything. Good. And then another thing is your technical interview.
So you
right?
got technical interview after the first
After
one.
the first one,
So
yeah.
did you get like what sort of technical interview? Because we have like a take-home project, DSA, online technical
Yeah.
test, or in-person whiteboard technical test.
Yeah.
You know.
So the first job that I landed, fortunately, they only did the technical interview. They did not give me any
Okay.
assignment and stuff.
Nice.
But before that, I did a lot of interviews. I did a lot of technical assignments, like take-home assignment, whiteboard,
Yeah.
you name it, everything. I did everything. So before my first job, I think I did almost like 40, 50 interviews.
Wow, that was basically preparing you for the next. You know?
Exactly. That was preparing me the whole time.
Okay.
So always what happened was everything was good. My technical interview was good, but then after you do your work, like they give you some technical home assignment, you do that, send it back, then you don't know how to explain it properly. That's another failing point for me as well. right?
Okay, so basically, just to make everybody understand, what happened is once you pass the phone screening interview, you get, let's say, we call it take-home project.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have, let's say, 3 to 7 days to submit that.
Yes, exactly.
And then you submit the project, and then you send the GitHub link.
Yeah.
And usually, hiring side, what happened? I would go and look for the code.
Yeah.
And then first, I'll check, have you understood all the project
exactly.
requirement or not? And
Yeah.
if you did, have you solved it? If you solve it, I want to see how did
Exactly.
you solve it?
Yeah.
And what is the coding standard?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then once I'm happy with that, then I'm gonna call you back again
Yeah.
to verify. First thing,
Yes.
did you do this?
Yeah.
Second thing, now explain me why you do what you do, and
Yes,
is there any
exactly.
alternative? Why didn't you do X function versus Y function,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
So,
those sort
so
of things.
this is where you fail.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's
I
again-
failed a lot in that part.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that, but it's not about your skill.
Yeah.
It's about
It's
the
about how I can express
it.
how I
Yeah.
can actually tell them like, oh, I use this because of this reasons,
Exactly.
right? Because at that point I was still a junior, right? I didn't know everything. I wrote the code just because I saw it, right?
Yeah.
I copied it from Stack
Exactly.
Overflow, whatever, right?
That's
I was
the
only
whole purpose of that
exactly.
test.
I was only focused on solving the issue, right?
Yeah.
I did not, oh, we are using this because of this reason, and this could do this could do this, right?
Yeah.
I did not know those parts, right? So the interviewers would be like, oh, he knows how to solve the problem, but he doesn't know what's actually happening in the background, right?
So, in my perspective as a hiring people, this is how I would think. Either you don't know the foundation and fundamental very well.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
only know what this function do and it does the output.
Yes.
So if I change something requirement here, you will not be able to solve the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just basically copy pasted the code from somewhere to make it work.
Yes,
So
yeah.
this is how I'm gonna understand.
Yes,
You know?
yeah.
Unless you say, look, I use this because this one does this. You
Yep.
know. And then there is a way of explaining. You know, we
Yep.
also put that training up for the student by
Right,
the mentor.
yeah,
You know,
that's
so
very good, yeah.
If you, it's not about your skill at this point now because you have already learned a lot hard
Yeah.
way. Now the problem came on the
Actually,
communication.
part,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not about English speaking. It's about the way you speak.
Yes.
The technicality.
Yes,
In
technical.
non-technical form
Yeah.
or technical form. Right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so how many did you say? Around 40, 50 jobs?
Yeah, I think 30, 40, 50 interviews.
What was the time frame?
Since I think 2019, end of 2019. So I graduated on October, I think. 2019.
Okay.
And then immediately I started looking for jobs, right?
Okay.
And I did my interns in between, but still, even if you're doing intern, you should always start looking for your full-time jobs, right? It doesn't matter.
Like when is the right time to look for a job is now. Just go and then start
just go
applying.
and start, right? So yeah, that's why I was applying. I was going to my intern, but I was also doing interviews, right? I did a lot actually. For first few years, like first few interviews, I wouldn't even get through the HR because I didn't know what to say. What was it like, right? So it was hard. Then I got like, okay, rhythm, right? Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
you learn from your own mistakes. So
right?
that's a lot costly
right?
for you.
Yeah. So you learn from your each interview, right? First your HR interviews, then your technical go home. Technical go home, just do it. Doesn't matter, right? But seek help from your mentors, like whoever there is. Like I used to ask for help from other Gesindai,
And other
Avinash,
other
other
your
developers,
friends,
whoever there is, right? But try to understand why they do it
Ask
like
that.
that.
Exactly.
Ask the question,
True.
because that was my mistake. I think I solved the problem, I submitted it, and then I was just waiting for, oh yeah,
I want to get that.
I want to get the job, right?
And then based on your experience, you might be thinking, I have done amazing job.
Yeah.
Because that is the like maximum output you have given
Yeah.
based on your understanding,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
But from the another side,
It's a very different,
very different. So,
perspective. Yeah.
and then you may think that I have done amazing job, but you never hear from them.
Yeah.
So this is a huge problem. That's why we have our mentorship panel, as I said before.
Yeah.
We constantly help students to refine on this, so
Yes.
that like
Yeah.
you have to go through 40 or 50 interview fail.
Yeah.
If we can help you on that to go to only 10 or 15 fail, it would have saved a lot of
Yeah,
time. So
that's-
how long was it since 19 October to until when?
2021 February, March, I started my job. So
Wow,
2
so
years.
that's almost 2 years
2
of
years I
waste
was
of
just
time.
interviews.
Yeah, if you had a mentor to look after that, I think
That would have been a very
you
different
wouldn't have
story.
spent so much
Yeah.
time.
Very
Your
different story.
stress level, your potentially earning.
Yeah, and it's also
thing.
like mentally you get like, oh why
Why me?
not, like what's happening? I've been to so many interviews. Why not? Like why am I not getting the job? Like you get to that point like, oh, is there something wrong with me? Am I not fit enough to work in this industry, right?
Oh,
You may get to that point, right?
True.
But
So
yeah.
have you ever felt that, oh no, I don't think this is gonna work for me. I think I should discontinue.
Discontinue.
Yeah. Like, have you ever felt at that some point like, I think this is not for me, and then I want to quit?
Actually, I actually didn't feel that way. Even if I went to like so many failures, I always felt like this is what I want to do, right? I had that passion, kind of, I would say, right? Even if it takes me longer time, doesn't matter. I know I just started from ground. I know I don't know a lot of stuff, but still, I'm gonna try my best. Hopefully, one day I will get it. Right? I
That's a
always
great
had that
passion.
vision, right? I always had that like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
So you have a very good passion.
That's
what keep your passion get going? Because passion will wind down after a long time. Was
I
that
don't know,
the
I think it's
friends
just-
or the other people around you who are the developer or?
Yeah, I think that's another point as well. Like my friend circles was everyone like getting job, like everyone's working and they're showing me like they're doing these things, right? And it was like always motivating, right? Oh, I want to do that. I want to do this, right? Or that's who I want to be, right? So I was always like trying to vision myself there as well, right?
Oh, okay.
And that's why the reason I also never gave up was like I went to meetups. I went to all these meetups in different meetups, and I also gave one talk. Like that was like way before, even before I was like I got my job. I gave a talk on Node.js and
Okay.
Node.js and Google Cloud, how to run your Node.js application on Google Cloud, right?
Okay.
So I did a normal, just a simple presentation and gave a talk in Node.js meetup as well, with the help of Kishan as always, right? And that was another. There was like always a push as well, I think, with Kishandai and my wife as well. She was always like, no, do your thing, don't worry, we will make it work, right? So you gotta have some people behind you as well.
True.
I would say.
You know what
yeah.
they say? Tell me your 5 friends, I'll tell your future. This is what exactly is. If you now you have, let's say, your wife, Gesanji, and you had another people
Yeah.
from the community
Yes.
meetups and things. You constantly been pushed to
Yes.
where you want to go,
Exactly.
and constantly reminded for your goal
Yes.
and vision,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That is keep like letting
Yeah.
you not
Yeah,
quit
exactly.
at some point.
Yes.
If you didn't have those kind of people, if you had people who always call you for the party or talk about non-technical
Yes.
work,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I think wouldn't be very
It would be, yeah, very different story.
different
Yeah.
story, isn't
Yeah.
it? You probably wouldn't be working in the developer, and at the end you said, technology is too hard. I
Yeah.
don't think it's for us.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're gonna create a completely different story about
Yes.
it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think so. Yeah. I actually involved myself, like pushed myself to be in this environment, right? I pushed myself to go to like conventions like Google Cloud and then Amazon AWS conventions, right?
Just go and then
Just go and
be like
just be there, like what
be-
it feels to be a developer,
exactly.
right?
Try to be part of that
Exactly.
community so
Exactly.
that you're constantly feeding your
Yeah.
mind that this is where I belongs,
Yep.
and this is where I'm gonna make the career.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you know, like I know there is a lot of people, even some of our students, they have gone through this phase. Every interview they are failing, rejection and rejection.
Yeah.
How does it feel like to get rejection after rejection? Can you share that?
It's very demotivating. It hurts. If I think about it now, like I would have done things very differently, but still, those rejection actually made me who I am today, right? Those things like taught me to take things positively. Don't take every rejections as negative, right? There must be something that they rejected me for, right? I must have lacked something. I might have not been up to that level, right? They didn't see me in some way, right? So that's why they rejected me. But don't take it the wrong way. Try to even for some interviews, what I did was after rejection, what I did was like send them a email like, could I get some feedback? Well, what did I do wrong? You know, and I got the feedbacks like, oh, we were looking for these kind of people. You were lacking these things. If you improve on it, maybe we can consider you next time, right? I even did that actually. So
That's the way to you grow.
exactly, right? So if you want to grow, if you want to actually do something in tech, you should do that. It's not like you get the rejection. Oh shit, no, I'm done. Right? You never do that. It has to be like keep going, because like tech industry, it's always changing. Right? It's always inventing new things coming up all the time. You can't like learn one thing and then, oh, this is gonna make me a good developer. Done. It's never gonna be that, because I've been doing this for 3 years. I still need to learn more things, right?
I've
There's
been
still
doing
new
for
things
1
coming.
years. I still learn every week.
Yeah. So there's never gonna be in your point like, oh, I have everything I need. I learned everything. I'm gonna be a developer now. That's never gonna happen. Right? You need to keep learning, keep motivating yourself to learn new things, right? That's how you go, I guess.
So I would say, like, just to summarize what you said, it was the motivation factor is, of course, because what you wanna be. That keep you going there,
Yep.
and also because of the people around you who is supporting your mission and vision.
Yep.
That's why you succeeded,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. You got to surround yourself with the people you want to be.
True. And you also mentioned that before, if I knew now, like I would have done differently. So coming back to that, if you can go back in 2019,
Yeah.
yeah, if you can be a 19er again, 2019, what would you do differently so that you don't go through this pain and then
Yep.
become successful in your career faster?
Yeah. So definitely look for a mentor. First thing first, look for a mentor.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not going to be able to break through easily. This tech market is very, very competitive.
Very true.
There's a lot of people learning the same thing that you're learning as well, right? And don't follow the stack, or don't follow your React, or there's new thing coming. Don't follow that.
Shiny object syndrome.
Exactly, right? So always try to make your foundation, your basic, really, really strong. I think that's another thing that I did not do as well when I first started learning, right? Okay, I learned JavaScript, started React
Straight away, okay.
straight away, right? I didn't know how JavaScript functioned before. I already started React before I even fully understood JavaScript, right?
Okay.
Oh, I learned a little bit on JavaScript, I can do React, right? It's not going to be like that. React is just on just a layer on top, right? It doesn't matter what you do, like framework doesn't matter. Learn the basics.
Yeah.
Right? Basics is very, very, very strong.
True.
If you know basic, if you know your software development life cycle, these things is very, very, very important. Because frameworks doesn't matter. Whatever you do,
The
you're
framework
doing.
comes
yeah,
and goes.
comes
Maybe
and
today
goes. It doesn't
React
matter.
is hot. Maybe React will stay
Yeah.
hot another 5 years.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
something might change.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the fundamentals
Foundation
never
fundamentals
change.
will never, never, never change, right?
So first, definitely you would go try to find the mentor who can pretty much do like hand-to-hand guidance.
Yes.
To you.
Yep.
Second, you're gonna focus more on
Foundations
fundamental.
and basics. Yeah.
What else would you do?
Third thing would be try to find any kind of unpaid or do more your extra projects.
Project, yeah, side
Right.
project,
Side projects,
real project
anything.
for somebody, even do for free.
Yeah,
I say
it doesn't
go
matter.
find someone
Paid,
and then
unpaid
give-
doesn't matter.
yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Just
It doesn't
build the
really
project
matter.
for them.
Exactly. Build project for them, for yourself. Do your portfolios, bios. Just showcase all your skills in your portfolio. Right. Build a website. Static website doesn't matter. Just showcase whatever you can do in that website. Right. Make it really, really good. Because I've seen. I've reviewed some of the portfolios, CVs they do make, like websites. I see some like, it's very bland and very, even if you look at it, it's a lot of things going wrong, right? You can clearly see them, and try to make it as good as possible, right? Always try to learn from other things. Like if you're trying to be a front-end developer, that's a very, very, very big step, right? Your portfolio bio, how you make it, how you make everything react, how you make everything look in your website is very, very important if you want to be a front-end, right? If you're a back-end developer, do a lot of side projects, right? Your APIs, integration with your APIs, whatever, right? Try to understand what APIs are, right?
How the API, not
Actually
API,
work.
you need to go one step layer down.
Then,
API is in the top. What is the protocols? You
Yeah,
need to understand
exactly.
the communication channel, communication protocol.
Yeah.
How many protocols are there?
Yeah.
How they works?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
there's
and then pick
a
one.
lot of things to learn, right? You can't learn everything basically, but knowing your basic understanding is a lot, and actually doing those extra side projects will help you learn those things.
True.
Right? So those 3 things is the top priority on my list.
Okay, so
Right.
just to revise, definitely get the mentor. Mentor will help you to basically set up your path, what to learn, where to find the content to learn, or how to start building the project, or even how to get to the internship, or even getting ready for the job and how to pass the job.
Yes.
Mentor will help you. That should be, someone who can help you that.
Yeah.
That's why, even we started Dented Code basically to do all that thing,
Yes.
Because what happened is that whenever you're looking for a mentor, in 2012, I think, because that time I had to build large scale e-commerce platform using PHP, and I wasn't writing PHP much before then that. And then I was like so frustrated because I used to work a lot, I didn't have time to learn, and I have so much little time available per day, and then I have to completely find out where to learn, what to learn, how to learn, and learning path.
Yeah.
And that time there was not much YouTube videos on programming.
yeah.
So I used to go to library, look at the book, take the photo of the pages, and then read them on the bus when I'm traveling to the work. And that was so painful. I literally used to sleep less than 3 hours a week for many, many weeks. I feel like there is a pain in my brain still when I try to remember that part. So if I had a mentor, probably it would have helped me a lot. I could have achieved in half of the time what I have achieved. And when it comes to mentor, guys, again, how to find the mentor, let's quickly dive in that as well. To find the mentor, simply reach out to the LinkedIn, reach out to your friend circle, and open to have a communication with them, discuss with them. And if you find someone whom you want to become in the future, ask them and follow their path. And do remember, please, guys, whenever you're asking time for somebody else, you're basically asking their favor. And even though they are looking amazing from outside, we don't know what goes behind them, right? And then we need to respect that. If they say, I don't have time, maybe I can support you, just go do yourself, I have tried sending this email to very famous mentors before, and they say, look, I'm so busy, I couldn't really support you in one-on-one level. here are the resources, go and then do yourself. And another mentor says, look, you are already doing right, you are on the path, you don't need my mentor.
Yep.
You go and then do that. And then again, everybody at the end, it cost involves, you know. If you ask somebody to mentor you, how much mentorship you need, it depends. And then that person, either you need to pay that person for their time, or you just accept whatever they has to offer you. Sometimes they say no, you need to completely understand that, don't have that ego, you know, because we don't know what happens on that person's life. Right? And then there are actually a lot of people who is ready to help as well, but with the given time, right? And that time I was looking for a mentor, I couldn't find one. And then I was started looking for paid mentor. And when I started looking for paid mentor, the hourly rate was 100 something, $80 plus, you know, even for the minimum
expensive.
level. And then at that time, my hourly rate, if I calculate of all my travel and everything, literally used to be less than $10. You know, how can I afford that? You know, that was another very big problem. So, guys, try to find the mentor. Start with whatever you have on your hand, and now either you pay by your time on learning, or find the program which is already predefined for you, like what we do here at Talented Korea.
Exactly.
If you can afford to join the program, join it. Don't waste the time, you know.
I mean, I think it's very different story if you join the boot camps as well. Like when I was starting, I don't think there was any boot camps run by Nepali.
No, we are the first one to basically run the boot camp.
There wasn't any.
Software
right?
engineering.
I think there was like General Assembly and those sort of things, but
they are way expensive.
So couldn't afford it, right? So I already did my masters. I already spent so much money, and I'm gonna go and spend another like same amount on another boot camp. So what's the point of my masters, right? So there was no brainer. Like I couldn't afford it. I can't do it. So I had to do it on my own, right? So that's when I looked for mentors, right? Who I can find to teach me.
Right? Exactly. Whatever you can get.
Whatever you can do, right? Just reach out to LinkedIn. Just reach out to whoever is actually in the industry. Try to reach out. If they don't accept, don't accept.
That's fine.
That's fine. Move on to another one, right? There's a lot of
other thing what you can do. Try to connect with someone who is 3 to 5 people who could be good mentor for you based on their career, and then do so much to provide value for them upfront. It could be go look into their career, look into their like say blog, or look into what they are trying to do, and support them so much so that they notice, okay, this guy has been helping, and then make them feel like they owe you to support you something like, you know. That way, give and take.
I think that's important as well. Like another thing I want to add on that is actually ask the right question. Right? Don't just go and, oh, I'm doing this, can you help me?
No, don't ask that.
Don't ask that, right? It's not going. No one's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna help you, right? No one's gonna do that. You need to ask the right question, right? Be specific. What do you want them to do? What do you want help with, right? Be very, very specific. And to be specific, you have to know what you want actually.
Exactly. Right? So first you go through your research.
Exactly.
And when you are stuck, that's why
you
there will be your like a unlock.
Exactly.
Stuck, like unlocking point.
Only ask if you're stuck or something. Only ask if you want answer, right? Just don't just go and ask a vague question. Right? No one's gonna be able to help you in that way, right? If you don't know yourself what you want, no one's gonna be able to help you, right?
Exactly.
So
that's
be sure of like what you want to do as well, right? Tech industry, there's a lot of things you can do, right? You can be front end, you can be back end, you can DevOps, whatever, right?
Many things
you do. So I think that's another problem. Like students just go like, oh, I want to be in tech industry. They don't know what to do.
True.
What they want to do, front end, back end.
They don't even know like,
what is in
what
there.
are the technology roles. You know, there is like in technology, there is like a customer service role, admin role, and hardcore engineering roles.
Exactly. Right.
There are no which one. So first thing was you need to find that out. And how do you find that out? Again, look into the people who are already build a career on the given job list, and then look into their LinkedIn, see how they have been progress, or reach out to them, say, hey, how it likes to be working on that industry, and then listen from real people, you know, who is actually in the industry, not somebody just make some story and then shares with you. That's very important. And the The second point was foundation and fundamental. You said
Basics,
let's explain more there how to understand that. I think for me, I would say if you want to understand anything foundation fundamental, I mean which you should be doing more.
Yeah.
Start from reading documentation. You know,
Yeah.
that's documentation is very important.
Yeah, that's the go-to. Always go to documentation, like write documentation, and just go to the
it
source.
is very boring to learn those things.
Yeah.
So you need to put more time and effort on that. I would say.
You need to read a lot. Actually, you need to read line by line what it's saying, what each line is saying.
Yeah.
You need to understand them properly. Otherwise, if you just skim through it, and if you just, that's another thing. I had a bad habit. I was going to documentation. I read first few lines, then I got like bored, and then like skip through the actual code stuff, and then like, oh, this code works this way. Okay, done. But I didn't read fully. Right?
Oh, okay. I think there is. I can put little bit. You can give your advice too. For me, like, if you want to know whether you know or not, go ahead and then try to rewrite article on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can write the
That's a
article
good
on
question,
that, that's very good. Actually, write article in LinkedIn or Medium or somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
if you can write article and proudly share to the world, that means you have done good job.
Good job. Yeah.
If you haven't, then make sure you do the boring stuff.
Yep.
Learn more, isn't it?
Yes. I agree. 100%. Like try to replicate what's there.
Yeah,
right?
but in your form,
in your own way, right?
Yeah.
Try to, and another thing is try to explain yourself. Right? That's what I used to do as well. Like, oh, this is doing this, this is doing this, this is doing this. Try to repeat that in my own head and try to explain it other way around to me myself. Right? Oh, this should be working this way. Is it working this way or not?
True.
Right? Going cross-checking myself, right?
True.
So that's another thing you can do.
Okay.
But yeah, writing article is, I think that's another good
creating
one.
YouTube videos.
Yeah, exactly.
To showcase, because that will really help you on your like job interview as well. For example, you see, you told like you have given a tech talk.
Yeah.
That's a tech talk regardless.
Yeah.
That takes huge courage to go to the stage to explain the things that you've been learning, especially we don't know who are the people sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
And that courage, if I see that in the resume, I would definitely like to talk more about that, and then I'll give more priority to those.
Yeah,
candidates.
I think that helped me to get more interviews as well. After that talk, I put that in my resume. I got more replies from interviews.
Exactly,
from
because
my
that
applications.
is the proof.
Yeah.
That is the social proof that you have the capacity.
Yeah.
And skill.
I mean, when I did the actual talk, I only said what I knew.
Exactly.
Right? But after that, they asked questions, right? I didn't know how to answer them properly, right? That's when I knew, oh shit, I need to learn more. I actually didn't know what they were talking about, right? I only know it from the surface, right? Don't try to do that. Don't do that. Don't learn from the surface.
Okay.
Go deeper.
Go as much deeper as possible. That's very good summary. Okay. Now let's go talk a little bit about the career aspect, the future of the career. What's your future plan? Now, especially coming with the AI. Again, I always ask developers here, what do you think about the AI? And many students, they're afraid to take the job role, start to learn to build a career in software engineering, thinking that AI is going to replace them, especially the student who is very new to the industry, just listening to YouTubers and the TikTokers, you know. Especially those are the masses who says are not the developer or not in the IT industry. So as a developer, what do you think yourself, what you're doing now versus what you will be doing in the future? How likely, like in your opinion, developer will replace, AI will replace the developer role. What do you think about that?
Okay. So first thing, what I do now is basically I'm a software engineer. I do front-end, back-end, kind of like a full stack. I write back-end logic, front-end development, everything. So basically a engineer, your day-to-day engineer, right? Then the second question was what I would think I would do in the future, right?
Yeah, in next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, 3 to 5 years. I'm aiming to be a lead or a senior software engineer in next 3 years. It's been 3 years, so I'm a mid-level now. So that's my goal, to be a senior or lead engineer, and from there probably, I don't know, CTO or whatever comes in my way. Right?
So still you'll be on the software engineering ladder up.
Yeah. That's always what I wanted to do, and I was I'm very clear on what I want to do. Right. So I want to go that path. So that's why I always focus on that. So I think that's another thing that you guys should do, right? Be clear where you want to be, right? Just be clear what you want to do. Just don't go around like doing everything, right? The path will take you wherever you are, but be clear where you want to end up, right? So that's a very important thing as well. And the third question, AI, right? No, I don't think it's going to replace our jobs. Simply because I use AI as well. I use GitHub AI, I use ChatGPT, doesn't matter. But what it's doing is actually helping us write code better. It's going to be helping us do better job. Yeah, it's going to make us a little bit lazy because I could just say, oh, what's the function? What is the actual thing, right? And it's just going to give me answer. I don't have to go to the actual documentation and read through the lines, right? It's going to just give me there, like in the VS Code, I could just ask the question and it's just going to give me all the summary from the documentation, right? So I don't have to look through all these pages and it saves my time, right?
Yeah.
But people saying like it's going to replace job, I don't think so, because even if it generates code, it just generates code.
And you need to verify it.
You need to still verify it works. You need to actually make it work together with other modules, other components, right? You can't just generate one code and it's going to work, right? It's not never going to happen. There's not one component of doing software engineering, right? Software engineering is a vast thing. There's a lot of things involved in there, right? To make one code work, there's a lot of things in the background working, right? So people who's just a simple, who doesn't understand tech, saying AI will replace software engineers, it's never going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, at least for, I mean, it's not going to happen at all, I think. Unless like we reach a point of like,
they call
singularity and they create their own codes, everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, because I feel very sad to see non-tech people spreading messages saying,
yeah, that's very false information.
Yeah, replace the job. And then we see a lot of people calling out and then say, hey, we were planning to build a career in software industry, but we hear that AI is going to replace that, so we planning not to. And then basically they are doing disservice to their, those students. Don't ruin the students' life.
Yeah.
And
No, yeah, that's a very wrong information.
Yeah, please be supportive to them.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, if you know, just be specific and tell them. If you don't know, don't talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah, just don't say anything that if you don't know about it, just don't
say.
Don't talk. I mean, AI is there to help us. Right?
Exactly.
It's gonna help you also to learn as well. If you can learn, you can learn from ChatGPT nowadays, right? You don't have to go through all these resources, right? You can just go and learn from ChatGPT alone as well.
True.
You can ask every question you have to ChatGPT and it will give you answer, but you have to cross-check, you have to verify as well.
True.
But still, it's there to help you. It's not there to replace you.
True. That's very important thing.
I think that's what everybody needs to understand.
That's true. Thanks for sharing that. And I think we are close to our discussion today, and thank you for sharing a lot of the important tips and tools, guys. I hope that's really helpful for you guys. From his listen to his story and see what he did didn't work, what he did that works. You don't have to fail to learn from your own mistake. You can always learn from somebody else's mistake as well. That will save the time. And then take some important message from here and then make it useful for your career. So is there anything that you wanted to share that we haven't covered at this point?
I guess like the last point I would always say to anyone who's starting tech journey in tech industry is try to be sure if you want to be in the tech industry, right? Always, it's don't just follow trend, right? Like people are going into tech industry because, oh, it pays well, or they earn so much money, right? Don't just look at the salary and say, oh, that pays a lot, I want to go there, right? Because it's hard if you don't like want to go do this, right? If you don't want to code, but if you're attracted to the salary but don't want to code, there's no point, right? You're never gonna learn it, right?
And another same to add on that, Okay, those people are already getting job, which is looks like me. I will
Yeah,
do the same thing
yeah.
too. We
It's
have
no
many student coming,
exactly.
they realize later on getting job in other part of the IT
Mm,
industry. I think that's not what they are looking for. That's not challenging enough. That's not
exactly.
the interesting enough.
Yep.
And they say, I think we want to build something that involves coding and problem solving.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always ask yourself the question, like, what do you want to do, right?
True.
If tech is for you, you will do it. If not,
Yeah,
you
it's
will not
hard
make it.
to.
It's very hard. It's very hard because, I mean, the competition is hard.
Mm,
Like, there's a lot of people, especially in Australia. Like,
mm,
there's a lot of people coming from a lot of other countries. There's a lot of technical people. There's a lot of smart people,
true.
right?
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's very hard to compete with them. So be sure that you want to be here.
So that
Right.
you can
You
last
can
long
make
on
it.
the.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
last longer.
That's very very important message, guys. Okay, if anybody wanna find you, where they can contact you if they need your help,
Yeah,
support.
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you're willing to help at some
Yes, of
extent.
course. Yeah.
If they wanna reach out to you, what would
Yeah.
be the good channel to reach out?
Sure. So you can reach out to me through LinkedIn.
Hmm.
It's just simple
Yeah,
GHALE.
we will put the
Yeah,
always in the
yeah. All the
description and the
description.
none.
You will
Okay.
get the
Yeah,
LinkedIn details,
yeah.
and you can also meet me in GDZ meetups.
In Sydney,
Yeah, in
especially.
Sydney.
Yeah.
I co-host and I'm a GDZ organizer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to meet me in person and ask the questions, then yeah, come to the meetups. Say hello. Just chat.
Just chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't take anything, right?
True.
Yeah,
True.
you can just come and say hello. Doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Roshan, for really giving your time today
Thank
and
you
then
so
sharing
much.
the important information. And I'm sure there will be a way you can find to help many developers
Sure,
as
of
well.
course. Yeah.
And guys, again, thank you so much for staying all the way to the end. I hope you learned some information. So I would like to know what are the three important information you have learned from today and that you're going to start applying from today so that I will see you grow in the future. Please write that in the comment section. I'd like to read from you more. And if you want me to cover any other question specifically related to you, to the next developer, I'll do that too. Write that in the comment section as well. With that saying, yeah, we'll see you next.
Thank you.
Take care.
See
Bye
you
bye.
guys.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoy the discussion today. And if you really do, please do me a favor. Help me to share this message to another fellow developer or some IT students. And do write, comment, what do you think about the podcast. And again, as I said before, if you have any question, write it down and I'll try to answer the next podcast. So if you do like, comment, share this podcast, it will help me to reach more people. Thank you.